Ouch. Hello, this is Joni from Designs by Joni L. And I just hit my finger on my tray. Well, this is the way the tray looks after it gets painted. And I painted it, I gave it a second coat, and then I went ahead, just to save time, and put a coat of the stain on it. But to show you how I did it, I'm going to do this back side with the stain before I get through with the project. And that way it will show you how to actually put the stain on it, because you can get in trouble with the stain if you try to overlap it. And you have to keep trying to go from one end of what you're starting it on. I know that's not making much sense, but in other words, if I were to start right here in the middle and bring it down, where I started right here, the stain would be a sort of thick right there. And you would be able to see that. And what you want to do is you want to go up here and start and bring it all the way down. And then go back up and bring it all the way down again. And that way you don't get your start and finish and finishes all there. If you go up here and come down, stop, it would be, your finish would be right there. And then when you would start to go back over that, it would be darker, because that would make two coats or whatever. So I will do the back of it before I finish the project so that you can see what I was doing. But I'm going to try to, I haven't decoupaged anything that I just dropped the decoupage, the napkin onto where I want it. But I'm going to try tonight. And wish me luck. I hope I get along good with it. And I don't know if I will or if I won't, but we'll soon find out. Because I have the decoupage here. And I'm going to try to put it on pretty thick. It's about, I need to really measure that to see how the first piece that I'm going to put in. Need to measure to see how wide it is. Okay, that says it's about 13 inches wide. So from here to, whoa, that's pretty big. Okay, so I guess I'll just start like this. And it's going to take a lot of this, because I can tell you I don't care for the chalk paint at all. Now I may have different feelings about it after I get the project through, but it seems to me like it's just, well, it is. It's rougher than the regular paint that I'm used to painting with, and I don't think it seals as well, but we'll see how that all takes in, because I'll have to come back. And now I was going to try to put this on a some sort of a clear substance and draw so that I could see it and just turn it over onto it. But I didn't have anything like that, so I thought, well, let's just see if I can drop it on. And if I can't, I can always take it off and be more added work, but at least it'll show you guys what you can, just about doing what you can't do and everything. Now this seems to be really soaking this up though, for some reason. It's really soaking this hot Mod Podge up. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much left for the napkin. But let's hope there's enough that it will be there to stick it down, glue it down, whatever. I just put the other half, the first part up. I'm making this into two videos. So the first part of the video shows the actual painting of the tray. And then this one I'm going to try to get all of this onto one video. Because I really don't like to separate my videos because I don't know, I just don't. No particular reason, but really just don't like to. Now that may be enough, but it just seems like it's really going down in there and sticking quite a bit. And I think that I probably should have gotten a paper plate and put some of this out on a paper plate. Now this is the where I'm separating the back off of the napkin. I've already taken one of the backs off, and this is another one. And trying to keep up with that picture up here to make sure that I'm in camera, because I don't want to do that where I'm not in camera anymore, because that's no fun when you're trying to watch someone do something and you can't see what they're even doing. Okay, how did I want this thing? I think it was like this. I'm probably going to be sorry I didn't put this on a clear substance and put it down. But there's nothing like living and learning, shall we say. I'm going to get though some stuff that I should have already gotten out of my drawer. I don't want the wax paper, I want the other. Oh dear. This is what I'm looking for. Plastic wrap. And I just bought a new box, so you might know it wouldn't be open. And my glue is getting drier by the moment. Am I the only one this happens to, or does it happen to you guys? I would say it probably happens to everyone at some time in their life. I think that we ever get completely perfect. Don't believe that at all. Now, I'm going to try to just put this down on top of this and smooth it out that way if I can, and that way maybe I won't. Oh, I was afraid that this thing right here was going to give me some trouble. I should have ironed that napkin before I put it down, because it's keeping a lot of that where it has the wrinkle where it's been folded. It's not going to come out. And if I try to do anything to it, it's going to really give me problems after problems after problems. Now, maybe I can take it and when it dries, I know that's the way my first one that I did worked. It had a few wrinkles in it, but as it dried, the wrinkles dried out. But I don't think this is going to dry out. But we will see when it does dry. Right there in the middle of that thing. You might know it wouldn't be in a corner, it'd have to be in the middle. Can you guys hear my frustration? I think you probably can. And I shouldn't be, because after all I said, this is the first time I've done this by just dropping it down. I probably should have, if I can reach down and pull that up some. I'm going to get in one big mess if I'm not careful. Well, for the first time doing this, it's not turning out too badly. I will know how to do it the next time. In the meantime, it'll look like it belongs to me. With wrinkles and all. Just like me. I've got enough wrinkles. I think that it's going to go down pretty well after all. Especially with all these little edges around here with the leaves and the little parts to them. I really like these napkins. We looked in quite a few places to find napkins that had the patterns that would go directly through, because they always wanted to just be on the front and not go all the way through. Then we went to Party City, and there they were, just waiting to be picked up. Which pleased me. I knew I shouldn't do that, but I did. So we'll fix that with another piece. I can put it back on there, and it will dry quite well, I hope. I guess you guys are keeping up with the Olympics. I've been trying to. I've watched swimming and the gymnastics and let's see, I watched a little bit of the track. I'm not as big a track fan as I am. I like the pole vaulting, things like that, but I'm really happy with our kids over there representing the USA. Very proud of them. They're doing really, really well. Okay, try to think that that's all I'll try to put on this right now. And I've got some other things over there I want to put on too. Because I liked some of the other things that were in the, ooh, I'm dripping. Okay, now let's see. I think that I'm going to put this over here on this left side. I have to take the back off of it because I didn't want to remove the back until I had to, because I was afraid it might get torn some way. And so let's see. I don't think I want that there. I want that over here. Because if I don't, that will be too just like. I was very, very proud of Mark Phelps. He is one swimmer that, my, what he can't accomplish. And he seems like he has really grown up a lot. And that's good, because he's a very good role model for our kids. Now that he's got all this growing up done and everything, I think he did a marvelous job, and you can tell such a big difference in him. And that little boy he has is just as cute as a button. And his fiance is very pretty. His mother has always, always, always been there for him. She was one very good mother. I'll have to say that, Betty. And you can tell that he loves her dearly. Because when your mama stays with you, like she has stayed with him, you can't do much of anything else other than love them, really. Something. I'm telling you, she was right there with him every step of the way in his victory. Victories, I should say. Trying to remember exactly where I did one of all these things. I know it's much harder to decoupage on a flat surface than it is a round one. You would think it would be just vice versa, but it isn't. It's harder on the, I don't want that touching that, on the flat surface. Looks like there's almost, I think there's another. I think I left another paper under that. And I'll bet that's what it is. Because that piece is just not wanting to go down. And I thought that I only left one piece of that back paper on there. But evidently I must have not. I must have left, that's why it probably did not go down as well with this one. Huh. I may end up taking this off. Tanya tells me I'm too much of a stickler. but I like for things to be right. That's exactly what it is. I left another piece of paper under that. I thought I only had one piece on the back, but I have left the other two pieces. It's looking pretty good in the camera. Maybe I can get by with it since it is looking pretty on the camera. How about that? Don't think you all would appreciate that when you went to glue yours down, and it would be, what in the world? I am doing something terribly wrong because hers stayed down and mine doesn't. And we wouldn't want that. That piece doesn't, that's why I didn't know there was another piece there. It just does not want to separate from the front piece. Let me get some water on my finger. Maybe I can get it to start coming loose. Or maybe I can't. I think that this one just has the one piece on it. Maybe I did on some and some I didn't. I don't know. I'm telling you. You never know. Until you're trying to get these things on there. It doesn't look like there's another piece on the back of that. But boy, when you get it wet, it sure does. What I may do is just take a pin, a little safety pin or something like that, and stick holes in those things where it's sort of wanting to come up. And if I do that, maybe I can let all of that air out of there and it will settle down. And it will let that air out of there. I'll tell you something else you should do. You should iron your pieces before you put them down. I thought I should, and then I thought, well, I didn't with the others, so I think they'll be all right. But guess again, they're not. They're doing okay, but not like I would really like for them to do. Yeah, there's the other piece of the paper under there. That's wild. The lower piece, this top piece is coming completely off of the lower piece. Well, that's good. Now I can just scrape that off with something and then put it back down. But it was a smaller piece. Wonder what I have that I could scrape that with. My husband had all kinds of tools and everything. Everything at his beck and call. And I might be able to do it with a ruler. Before it dries. It may already be dry. I bet that some of you guys that are really good at Mod Podge are laughing yourselves to death at me. But I don't mind if you are. This is how we learn. You can bet I will check and double check and triple check the next time to make sure I have no other paper on the bottom of the things I'm wanting to put down, and that I will iron them, and they won't have any creases in them. My other one that I put on the round base, it just went on there and just stayed, and I had no problems at all with that. But boy, oh boy, that is sure not like this one. But as we say before, this is what helps you guys learn. Those of you who don't know what you're doing like me. If that other piece of paper would have been off, I wouldn't have had any trouble. But it was on there. There's that little piece of that. If I can tear it up. Yeah, I got it too. So I can take that off. I didn't think this was going to take all that much time. I really didn't. I thought it would probably take me about 25 minutes or so. Little did I know of the trouble that I was going to get in. That is really dry on there. But it isn't bothering the surface at all, even with this scratching that I'm doing. Oh, I wonder where my undo is. I have never used that, and I will probably never find it. But I think that might take that off if I could find it. Huh. I've never used it. Oh. And I don't see it in any of my shelves. But if I had that, I figure I could put it on there and it would get that loose right away. In fact, I may just turn the camera off and look for that and come back if I find it after I take it off and everything, because it's going to take me forever, and I don't think you all want to sit here and watch me scrape a tray. But I will tell you when I come back if the undo helped any, because I know I bought a new bottle because my daughter couldn't find it. She looked several places for it for me, and she couldn't find it. But then I went to town with her, and we ran right into it. So I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to look for my undo, and I'm going to use it and see how it helps me. And I'll get back on as soon as I get all this straightened out. See you later. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, this is Joni from Designs by Joni, and I am back, and you can see I did do some stuff with my tray, and the fan is blowing my pieces that I haven't glued down yet. I went ahead and I told you I was going to take this one off, And that's exactly what I did. I took it off, and that's what was the problem, was that it has 3 plies, the tissues do. And I thought that I had gotten all of 2 of them off, but I didn't. So the second one was not letting the top of it glue down. So I had to remove it, and then take that. I had to get a new napkin and cut this one out again. And then I removed 2 layers, and it's just got the 1 layer now, and I got it put back on nice. And then I went ahead and put these things on. And these are just some writings and things that I thought might make it look prettier. So that's what I have done with that. So I'll show you what I'm doing with this. And I did go ahead and put the stain on it the other day. And I put 1 coat of the stain on the back, but I only put 1. And when I was telling you all about how you would put it down, I thought, well, I'll just leave the back part, and I'll leave that 1 coat on it. And then I'll go ahead and show them how I did that when I'm finishing through with this. But, so you can see how I did the stain. All of this is blowing away, and it's my fan. But I really like how it's turning out. I love the coloring of the antiquing, and I have always liked this colors, and so that's why I decided to go ahead and fix it in this color. I gotta see how big to put this stuff down, and then I will still have to put a stain of varnish on over all of this to put a nice gloss on it. And that one thing is deciding it does not want to be over here where it's supposed to be. It wants to be over there. But I want it over here, so it's going to stay over here. And so I think that you all will get to see enough of this to see what I did and everything by the time I get finished with it. Because like I said, the one thing with staining is you have to be careful when you go back over it, and you have to make one continuous long stroke. You can't just make a half of a stroke and then try to go back over it, because if you do, you're going to get a double coat there for a while, and that doesn't look good at all, because it makes one part of it darker than the rest of it. And I've been staining things for a long time. I gotta make sure this writing's up right. I don't want to put it on upside down. It's kind of hard to read their writing anyway. My dad had beautiful penmanship, but it was something similar to this, but I didn't have any trouble reading his because his was a little bit more legible than this is. He started his first name. His name was William, and then he had a T and a Y that he had to get in there so to finish his name. So he just started writing the William, and he never quit until he had completed both his middle name and his last name. And it was beautiful, but that's the way they taught back when he was growing up. And he had absolutely gorgeous penmanship. Now that is, I hope that dries. I think it dries clear. I'm hoping it does. I think it does. I think I read that. And this one, I'm putting these on so that whichever way you're standing on which side, the stuff will, the writing will be up to where you can read it from either side. So that will make it better, I think. I hope that, I don't think I had that thing down there. I believe it blew there. It's just trying to mess me up. Of course, that's, I don't know if it'll go in there or not. I'm think I like it there. So I guess we'll just switch it over here and move it up a little bit. I tried, it was a really hard time getting that thing off for about 3 minutes. And then I remembered hearing Angela Holt say that she had done a tutorial on that oh, what is the name of it? I've got it right here in the drawer. Unglue. Right there it is. And so I bought some. And I thought, well, if that will unglue lace from glue, from hot glue, I want to get some of that. So I got it. And then when I was messing with that, trying to get it off, I thought, well, I think I'll just try the unglue and see what it does to it. And lo and behold, it started removing it right now. So if anything that you need to be unglued from anything, just go ahead and get you some unglue. And I saw a shadow, and I pulled that stuff all the way over there. You'll probably think, why in the world would a shadow make her jump like that? We live in Florida, as you all probably well know. And in Florida, you have lizards. And we got a little lizard in here. And Tanya saw it this morning, and she is petrified of animal things like that, or whatever they're called, reptiles. I don't know what species they're called. But anyway, it scared her to death. And I was in the shower, and she came running to tell me that she saw a lizard. And I said, what do you mean to do about it? I can't do anything. But anyway, we're going to see if we can't find it. Her husband will be home in a little bit, and we're going to seek him on it and hope we can find it. I don't know if you all knew, because we have been looking for some decon, because while they've been renovating their house, somehow or other they got a mouse in it, because they would never have had it when they lived there, because she would never have allowed it. But anyway, they got a mouse in there, so they were going to get some decon and put it out. And they are not allowing them to make decon now, because they said they had to protect the mice. Now, anybody knows why that would happen? Well, me, I say protect the citizens and all that their things they'll cut up and everything. Because a mouse can do a lot of damage if it gets hold of your clothing or anything. Not to mention the germs that those things carry. Bubonic plague and everything else. So I don't know why, but they are not making decon. They make you get a trap that it goes back in, and then you have to put something in there to bait it, to get it to go back in, and then you catch it and then you take it outside. Well, it's going to come right back in if it gets a chance. So I say get rid of them. I don't like mice. I don't like them at all. Okay, it should be right in the middle of this. I hope I'm getting it pretty well in the middle. That is really, really thin when you take that second coat off. But it sticks down, it stays down then too. You don't have to worry about it coming back up. So I think that my next project is going to be a pretty little shirt that I'm going to fix for Sophie. She's been gone, and it's time for her to come home. And she will be ecstatic to see her shirt that Mama made her. She came over one time when she was at home, but she just hadn't been here for probably a month or something like that. And when she came over, she just was walking through the house and just looking around, just not touching anything, just walking through the house. And after a little while, she came over to me and she said, Mama, she said, I don't see anything you bought for me or you got for me. And I said, well, honey, you haven't been gone anywhere for me to get you anything. She says, but I've been gone from you. And she said, you should have bought me something. So I said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So after that, I knew that when she'd been gone a month, it didn't matter if she had been at her home. She thought Mama had missed her. And even when I buy things, we had been visiting up home in West Virginia for a couple of weeks because I had to have a procedure done on my face. I had a basal cell cancer on it. And I go up there to have anything that's important that's surgical, I go up there and I go to Dr. Hamrick in Charleston, and I will give him a little shout out. He is the best doctor you would ever want to come in contact with. And he has been my doctor since 1984. That's when I had that dynamic blood clot. And I went into the hospital and they were saying, you have a blood clot, we're keeping you. So they put me upstairs, put stockings on me and everything, and then they sent for their experts to come in. And the experts, my leg was swollen about twice the size it was supposed to be. So the experts came in and started looking, and they said, they already had me on heparin, and that's a blood thinner. And they said, I just don't think that you have a blood clot. I think that it's a muscle in your leg, because that muscle was swollen going down the front of my leg. And all I'll have to do is just drill 2 holes in there and go in there and cut that muscle and you will be fine. And I said, if it's only a muscle, I said, I can put up with that pain. I don't need to have any holes drilled in there. I said, but it's just the thought that my leg is swelling so badly, and I was afraid it was a blood clot because my sister had had one. And she told me, she said, you have a blood clot. And she said, you better get to the hospital. So I went. And these doctors, there were 5 of them, and they said, no, I'm sorry, but this is just something that we can take care of. And so she said, you had better call Dr. Hamrick. So I told my daughter, I told Tanya, I said, Tanya, go call Dr. Hamrick, because I'd never seen him before. And it was December the 24th in the evening. Now that will tell you something right there. And she went to the phone and she called and she said she needed for him to come in for a consultation. Because that's the only way he would do it, was consultation, because he wasn't my doctor. And there are guidelines that they have to go by. So anyway, he came in that very night, looked at my leg, and the doctor, one of the doctors that said he would stake his professional reputation that I did not have a blood clot, took his thumb and had been punching right on the same spot where it hurt so badly. And so Dr. Hamrick came in that night, and he barely touched my leg. I mean, I couldn't even feel it with his stethoscope. He listened a little bit, and he looked at that leg, and he said, stood up, and he said, Mrs. Lowe, he said, I think we have a small problem. He said, I think that you better get your stockings back on. I'm going to have them put your stockings back on you, and I'm going to have you put back on your Coumadin. And he said, I think we have a small problem. Well, lo and behold, You might know it scared me half to death, but at least I knew somebody knew what they were doing. And I said, "Will you please take care of me, Dr. Hamrick?" And he looked at me and grinned, and he said, "Yes, Joan," he said, "I'll take care of you." So from then until now, he has been taking care of me, and he has done just that. He is the best doctor. He is a vascular and general surgeon. He does surgery on your arteries and things like that, and he also does just general surgery. And he could have had me into surgery 5 or 6 times by now, or more than that. But he won't do it because he doesn't think I need the surgery. But some doctors said that I did, so I always listen to him. But anyway, he is his name is Edward R. Hamrick, Hamrick, and he is located in Charleston, West Virginia. And you cannot beat him. I had that one blood clot. He kept me in the hospital for 2 weeks. And then he let me go on. He kept me on the heparin. No, he kept me on Coumadin then. For about 5 months, I wasn't allowed to travel. And I had to walk. And I could not put my feet down. I had to keep my feet elevated. And I didn't know anything about blood clots. So my niece's daughter was getting married, and I said, well, I want to go to that, but I have to wear pumps. So I called his nurse, and I said, I'm going to a wedding, and I said, would it be okay if I'd wear pumps? And I think I sort of shocked her. And she said, well, she said, we might want to wait just for a little while before you wear the pumps, so I think maybe you had better go ahead and wear low heels. I said, oh, okay. I have never had a pair of pumps on since I had the blood clot because he told me it destroyed all the little thingamajigs inside your vein that pushes the blood back up out of the bottom of your leg. So I have had that destroyed with that blood clot. And now I can wear a 2-inch heel, but that's all. And I forgot what I was telling you about now when I started telling you about Dr. Hamrick. He's such a good doctor, and everybody needs a really good doctor that they can trust. And he is one that can be trusted. I was telling you about us going home. And I had to have a procedure done. And he took off a basal cell on the side of my face. And the incision was probably about 2.5 inches long. And you cannot tell there was a thing done there. I mean, there is nothing there. And every one of the doctors down here that see it just marvel about it. My goodness, you can't even see it. And I said, I know. He's a good doctor. So, now I don't remember what the other story was. I'll think about it and I'll tell you in the next one probably. Okay, now I've got these all put on. And I'm going to have to let them dry because I think I've put enough decoupage over them to keep them down and to keep them in place. And then when they dry, which should be in the morning, it's rather late here now, I will put the varnish on it. But in the meantime, I'll turn it over. I got to get the stuff, though, that I stained this with. I'm going to turn my camera off for just a minute, and I'll be right back, because I have to get the stain. And I'm going to do the back of this. And I'll be right back.